Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Multiplex Project V2. Sorry. We're back onto Nacht, Untoten from the last video where we are attempting... Just gonna look at the video there. Camera's looking half decently placed. It's always a bit of a struggle getting it nice in the centre. But we're back onto the challenge of round 30 on, well, round 32, be as specific as possible, on Nacht. As usual, I'm going to run around and do nothing for a few seconds while my brain works on autopilot. Sorry, I always, I can't help but get burpy when I start talking, I guess. And a little bit out of breath, don't know why. But yeah, we'll see how it goes today. I'm going to try and not be too... I always mess up trying to say. I'm not going to try and maximize points as much as I would usually do depending on a run. I know that I always kind of have this internal struggle, thinking I should maximize the points, get the most points out of every round, shoot every zombie 4 times in a leg, one knife, and then do a clip and then a knife. And on Nacht, does it really matter? At the end of the day, I'm gonna be in there by round 5. I'm gonna have a Thompson, and I'm gonna have so many more points than I could ever use, and just spin on the box. And it really doesn't matter if I get, 4,000 points or 3,000 points when I get there. As long as I've got, some large amount of points by the time I get there, and to not go down to an easy zombie. I think one of the first things that I kind of had in my mind is going into this video today is kind of like the thoughts of playing Nacht on multiplayer, because over not that long of a duration. Well, maybe I'll start at the beginning. So obviously been playing this game since quite a while, let's just say. Definitely not been playing it since 2008. But we could probably say about 2012 at least. 2010, definitely. And zombies was a major part of playing this game back then, because obviously you didn't have to rely on being able to beat other people on multiplayer, which obviously as a 7-year-old kid you are not going to be very good at the multiplayer. I may as well take that actually. I've not been taking it on some of my Nacht runs, but I'm going to take it today. I wasn't taking it on Derry's, but I was trying to maximise points on there actually, because I needed to pack a punch. But as a kid, sorry, I wasn't very good at these games, obviously. I guess some people grow up and they're good at games, and I guess it really depends on who you are, and I think sometimes the era. I wasn't playing these sorts of games until not much older, but I know there's like very young kids these days, and they're playing Fortnite, and maybe just Fortnite, cause yeah, maybe they're playing Call of Duty. I don't know how young people are playing Call of Duty. Obviously these days, Call of Duty has been played by all ages, all the time. Everyone's been playing Call of Duty. You can stick an 18 on anything. You can stick 21 on there. You can stick 25. They're gonna play it either way. Doesn't really doesn't matter what age you stick on there. People are gonna find a way. Sorry, that's a bit of a tangent. um, Back on the topic. Since a young kid, though, I'm playing multiplayer. I guess initially you just kind of following what people are doing. If somebody does something, then you automatically start to emulate that thing in your gameplay. Um, so I've heard some differing opinion on this. Maybe not such different opinion. Different opinion on how to play this map between countries. So as I'm talking about this is what I'm kind of talking about. As I played this as a kid, everyone always opened the help door. This door right here. Everyone always opened that door. I've never really known a time playing this map where that door did not get opened. You open. I remember maybe it's the earliness of the gameplay, but everyone opened that door, left the stairs closed, and would open these stairs and run into that corner over there, and that would be the strategy. And there's there's a little bit of like merit to it. It can get you to a certain round, always depending on the skill of the players who are running that strategy with you. So my whole you know life of just playing this map, it was always, and I was playing multiplayer with somebody that I'd met online on here, on the actual multiplayer, um, like PvP multiplayer. And we went on zombies afterwards, and again we opened the help door, and then somebody actually opened up the stairs, and we got so mad, and we're like, why'd you open up the stairs? Like, nobody opens up the stairs, you always open the help door. And then he didn't have a mic, but he did have a mic, just not plugged in. And towards the end, he plugs it in, and he starts berating us like, "What are you talking about? Opening the stairs is the actual strategy. Like, nobody opens the help door anymore. Like, opening the help door is stupid. These sorts of things." Paraphrasing a little bit. So, I'm starting to think, well, we're in the right. You never open the help door. We always. Oh, you always open the help door. Sorry, you never open the stairs. So I'm thinking, well, what an idiot. He's got no clue how to play this map. Like, everyone knows. You open the help door, you open up the stairs here, and you go to you go to the corner, and you just camp in the corner. And I was so oblivious, man. I was so oblivious to actually how people play this map. So leading on from that sort of experience, so that kind of like gave me a preliminary knowledge of how people view playing this map. So then it comes to I'm just playing online on zombies because me and this guy that I was playing with, it kind of sparked my interest of Nacht all over again. So I just started playing zombies again, um, and just hopping online on zombies and playing a bit of multiplayer zombies. And I run into this other guy who, because I'm always chatterboxing on the servers. If you play these servers, you might just run into me. Not often. I don't come on here a lot, but I sometimes do hop on those online um, servers and just chat away with people. And especially when they got a mic, it just lights me up. I'm always having a bit of a chat with people. But I met this other guy. The pretext of, obviously, I was talking, and then he was talking as well. And just through the duration of it, he just on the first game, he's like, so I'm thinking, when are we gonna open the help door? And he says, oh, no, you don't open the help door. Like, if you that's the wrong strategy. If you open up the stairs, the main stairs, and then go round, it's way better. And he says, we can do it your way if you want, but I'm telling you, my way is better. And I'm now thinking, like, this comes after I've played that game with the other guy, and we're saying, no, you always open the help door to that other guy. A lot of people in this equation. So now I'm thinking, wait, I think I must be wrong then. Like, I've been opening the help door for, so long, but actually we're not supposed to be opening the help door. We're supposed to be opening the stairs and going round that way. I'm confused. I'm like, I've always, always, always opened the help door. So I'm thinking, well, no, 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 no. We need to do it your way. We need to open up the stairs first and go that way round. Because I need to see how good of a strategy this is. Because I'm like, I just didn't believe it. I'm like, have I been wrong this whole time? And, I'm always willing to change, because change is, an inevitable fact of life. That's a different philosophy right there. But, the only thing that is constant is there's going to be change. Well, I'm like, no, we need to, play this other method. So I'm doing this. I open up the stairs, and I think there's a couple other guys with us. I don't know how on board. I think it was one guy with us. The other guy might have been dying or something. I can't remember. But we do it. We go around this way, and we're surviving so well. I'm telling you, it was like round 7, round 8, round 9, round 10. We're split up a bit. I think there's some people out there, some people in the main upstairs a little bit, and we've got maybe like me down here, and it's like round 10, and it's so easy. I'm thinking I've never had a game of it's online Nacht as well. We're thinking about, like, obviously, I'm not having a tough time playing round 7 right now on single player, but that's because it's single player, and single player is so much easier. So I'm thinking, bloody hell, like, this is wild how much easier this is. So I'm thinking I've been wrong this whole time, and I should never have been opening the help door. Like, why have I been opening the help door? And he's like, yeah, I'm telling you, me and he has, like, he says this thing where I've been playing with a few times now, and because he's a really good guy, and he's just nice to talk with, and he's like, yeah, me and my American mates, we always do this strategy, and we're getting like round 25, we're getting round 30, we're getting round 40, and I 100% believe the guy, because, to be honest, if you're lying about, these rounds, why would you? If you are, then you're just a little bit sad, and, a bit messed up in the head to just be lying about your zombies records. Like, if I got a zombies round, I'm going to tell you the plain fact truth of what I've got. So I'll tell you right now, obviously I got round 31, and I want round 32, now that's the highest I've ever got, I think. I really couldn't imagine I've ever got higher than round 31, because I've never done it higher than that solo. I've had this game on the same account since 13 years ago when I first made this account. Well, I guess maybe my dad made it for me, but yeah. Sorry. So yeah, he's hitting like round 40, and I'm thinking round 40 online. This is crazy. So he tells me, this kind of goes into the different opinions, but he's like, people in America though, he's saying people in America, they don't open the help door. So I don't know if, like, how many people we get, watching this video, but if people want to give, like, their input on playing Nacht, throughout the years, and if you're from America, if you're from the UK, and sort of anywhere you're from, literally anywhere you're from that you've been playing this game, like, just, chime in your little, like, opinion on how you... This is dangerous. Oh my god. How you played this map throughout the years. It's mainly online because, single player. I'm not saying you couldn't put your opinion of single player in as well. But single player, you could open that door, you could open that door. If you think training around there is best, you train around there. You could train upstairs, you could train around here, you could train. You could do it. Any number of strategies that work best for you. But multiplayer is just such a different beast because multiplayer is just this crazy, hell of, what I mean? It's like so many zombies, and you've also got the scale and damage, and it's just crazy. Like once you get up to like even just like round 10 and 11 start to get difficult in their own right. Like it's easy to kill them, but there's just so many of them coming at you for each round. At that point, it's crazy. So yeah, that was just like, well, short little short being a joke, obviously, but that was just my little thing about Nacht. It's that sort of thing where it's crazy how people have played one map, and I think this is a very decisive map because there's okay, there's only, what is it, 3 doors on the map, or 3 barriers on the map, so there's not a whole lot of, you know there I go again from the last video. I'll try and ignore myself saying that. There's not a lot of dynamic, you know, dynamicness. You know what I mean. There's not a lot of change you can make to such a small map, but to have such a wild, like, some people open help doors, some people open the first stairs first, and then you could even go as far as like, do you open like that stairs? Do you open help door and stairs? You could do maybe some people do that, and it's like in your little friend group, you might have had 4 people that you didn't go online, so you didn't go primarily online. You just kind of played in your friend group. But if we think about like, you see, because Black Ops 1, in my opinion, had a very big impact on the zombies culture and the zombies impact throughout the years. So I always think of like Black Ops 1 as being a pivotal moment in zombies history because, Pt.2, the launch map being so fun, and I could play so much more Kino as well. It's kind of one of those maps where it's a little bit boring to me now because it's so easy, because I guess the thing is, it's like I'm talking about like door opening strategies with Nacht, where we could go into like a different where do you train on Kino strategy, which I think the obvious answer, we might have watched Syndicate do it. Sorry guys. I hope I blocked that cough well enough there. We might have watched Syndicate, train on the stage, but it's obvious when you play that map that the stage is the best place to train. It's, you don't need to watch Syndicate do it to know that. It's just such a amazing place to train. But I've also trained in that room near the dressing room. I can't even quite explain what that room is. I think it might be a bar. But I've trained in there as well. I've also trained in starting room. I've seen strategies to do with the alleyway where you can speed up. I think you speed up the game by reducing the amount of spawns to come out of, I believe. So there's a lot of strategies with how you train, where I could also imagine there's a lot of strategies for how you train here, but when it comes to opening doors on Kino, it's pretty cut and dry. I feel you always open, every single door that you can with one exception. Only true Kino players know that exception. Just even playing Kino for a little bit, you should know that you never open the stage door. So there's obviously that. But you open every door because you need to get to every box location. Because if you don't get every box location, then you're not gonna be able to hit the box. So you have to open every door because the box is moving. But the box isn't moving here, so you don't have to think about, okay, well, I need to open every door because the box might move here, the box might move here. You don't have any of those thoughts, so it starts turning into this, well, which doors should you open, or which barriers should you open, I should really say, because they're not all doors. Which is, I think, extremely unique as a map, because, again, we think about Verrucht, and I guess there's more strategy, but then I feel like it always comes down to just, you either leave this one door shut or you open this one door. I think it's the power room, and I know one strategy I've played a lot is, let's imagine the power room as being forward as being towards the power switch, so then don't open the door to the right of the power switch. Now, I do feel like Rukt could also have a set of, we do this, others do that, but not a lot of people play Rukt. I would definitely say myself included there. I'm not really a big Verrucht fan just because it's such a difficult map. It's This is a different conversation, but it's definitely an avenue to lead down onto. Is that I feel like a lot of these maps got rejuvenated when Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles was released. Say what you will about, Gobblegums and Black Ops 3 as a game, about the microtransactions. What they did with, the older maps is quite special. Because you take a map like Verrucht, where on World at War, I'm thinking, terrible map, don't want to play it, too difficult, not enough support, no pack-punch weapons. You've only got your 4 basic perks. It's a paradise for the player who loves a challenge, but at the same time, it's this really difficult experience with the Verrucht sprinters. But then you get Black Ops 3, and you get your Gobblegums, and you can start, you could take Perkaholic, which, again, say what you will about Perkaholic being probably, a game-breaking Gobblegum. Obviously, it's a super ultra mega rare, I forget what they call it, but, it's not easy to get a Perkaholic. I do know of some other ways of getting a lot of Gobblegums. There are hackers, modders out there who grant Gobblegums for a fee. A small fee, and one where much cheaper than what the actual COD store is selling these same Gobblegums at. So you can get like 3,000. I think I got 3,000 Gobblegums, and I might have paid 20 quid, 30 quid. Now, you kind of think, wow, that's a lot of money just for a bit of Gobblegums on Black Ops 3, but it's 3,000 Gobblegums, you've pretty much got every single Gobblegum in the game forever. That's a different point. You could take Perkaholic on Verrucht, you could take Crate Power, Wall Power, and then you can get your Pack-a-Punch weapons, and then we think about, the Black Ops 3 system of double Pack-a-Punching, so then you can take deep breath there. Sorry. You can take bullet boost, and then get a double pack a punch and get dead wire. I think blast furnace is also really good. A couple of us. Again, that's a completely different other conversation, but it takes these maps that you might think, oh, that map, oh, I would never want to play that map. And it adds this new sort of perspective where, oh wait, actually, I could take this gobblegum with this gobblegum. And I've had games of Rucked where we've gotten to like I feel like round 30. Maybe, I can't remember. Take that with a pinch of salt. Around round 30. And it's Rucked, and I'm thinking, wow, Rucked's really difficult, so it's quite fun to have been able to get to such a high round on such a difficult map, considering, all that we know about Verruct being just hell to play. A great map in the sense of, Nacht can be really easy. So if you're looking for that challenge where you want something that's gonna, be a bit trickier and give you more, you know, sustenance to your challenge. I don't even know what I'm saying now. I was about to do that. You get what I mean. It's like sometimes something's too easy. Where Shino Numa, I think I've got like round 47, and it's not easy, but it is at the same time, because if you've not seen, you can get like round 9,000. Is it on there? Just by using the flogger. Absolutely mental. And Der Riese isn't the easiest map in the world, but you got perks, you got pack a punch. It can make the experience quite simple when you've got these like modern comforts. They're not really extremely modern comforts, but these are things that we kind of expect now of a zombies map, and these were just built in. These were built in on Der Riese. So it's quite an easy map, but Verrucht is just one of those really difficult experiences that I've always stayed away. You see it ever so clearly online, where people on this game now, they either play Nacht because it's free, obviously, or Der Riese because the pack a punch, the perks. So, but back to the initial conversation of how, I guess it kind of is a testament to how unique a map Nacht really is. And for it to have been the first zombies map ever released, and we've got all these different ways to play it, all these different perspectives on what you should do, and the fact that people are still looking to play this map. Oh wow. Oh wow. This many years later. Oh wow. That was. Whew, okay. That was nearly the run over right there. And people are still looking to play this map this many years later. It shows how much of a cultural impact that it had on people. And obviously, if you didn't have the success of Nacht, you wouldn't have the whole franchise that, became zombies, because people wouldn't have thought, oh, we need another one of these if Nacht was really bad. But just this small game mode that wasn't, it was just an afterthought. I believe we've all probably heard the story now, and it's this thing that, the devs I think were just working on, and it was a side project that I think was a bit hush hush, because I don't think that, the main developers were quite happy that, I believe they weren't quite happy that they were making it, but then I think they saw the success. I'm probably butchering this whole story, so I apologise for that. But it's just this small side mode that wasn't even really meant to be a thing. I don't think it didn't come out on release, and it's just this Easter egg at the end of the campaign for beating the campaign, and people just beat the campaign and find this little Easter egg at the end, and I guess start playing it and they start realizing, wow, this is so fun, and I need more of this. I need to play this with my mates, and we need more maps, and then we get more maps and there's more features, and then Kino where we it kind of realizes it into one amazing experience, and then we get Easter eggs, and just in this game the Easter egg songs. I guess looking back, it's just kind of crazy how the Zombies franchise has developed over time from the humble beginnings of Nacht, Untoten, where it's honestly a bit of a masterpiece in its own right, where it's crazy how we have such a great just got to focus up a little bit, sorry. Such a great map on the first attempt, where we have, what really amazes me is like some of the features where solo, I don't know if they ever had to adjust these through the lifetime, I don't know a lot of the history of Nacht, but where you have the solo no scale of zombies, just one train, making it a lot more palatable, I would say. A bit more fun to play solo. Then you have the multiplayer where it scales. I kind of like the feature where, I think this is an overall World at War Zombies engine feature, where when you hit a zombie it resets the hit cooldown. I don't know what to call that. I think you understand what I mean. When you hit a zombie it stops trying to attack you. I might need to cough again, sorry. I really hope I'm blocking those very well. There's just features in this game that, like not being able to be hit through the window, which is obviously just one of those things that they didn't think about zombies reaching through the window yet. So that just wasn't a feature of the map, so you can just keep rebuilding the barrier with the zombie on the other end with no consequence. It's like these tiny little features that kind of add up, and some of them could be bugs, and some of them become features, and some of them become features that you'll love, although are bugs. And just on this very simple map, there's even mistakes, which is really amazing of this sort of experience, where it's such a humble experience where, oh, what? Was that just irony? We were talking about bugs, and bugs that are features, and features that you love are bugs. And I'm not playing it. There's no way I'm doing another run after 33 minutes, but what, what just even happened? I'm struggling to even comprehend. I've completely lost my train of thought because I was standing at the window, rebuilding it while the zombie got there. I'm assuming I got stuck in the barrier that got placed. Obviously the zombie didn't hit me. Oops, sorry. I'm not getting overly emotional, don't worry guys. But the zombie didn't hit me through the window. So, okay, that's a great example that there's issues. I was literally, there's issues in the game, which is so humble, and then oh my god, I just die. That is okay. So what I was trying to say, let me just finish my train of thought. I've actually just remembered it. Is that when you look at the Thompson for the first time, it says it costs 1,500 points, I believe, because the shotgun, the double barrel shotgun, costs 1,500. But it says that the Thompson also, but when you buy it, it only takes 1200 points, and then when you look at it after you've bought it, it shows 1200. They fixed that online because online is, the newer variant of Nacht, and it shows 1200 instead of 15. I'm a little bit bummed out because I don't like to go down to something that's not really my fault. I didn't quite think that was going to happen. I thought I was going to die because I got overwhelmed. Apologies, guys, just needed to take a quick drink there. So, the series continues with the strangest ending to part 2 there. So, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll slowly crawl towards the camera, as I usually have to do to turn it off. If you'd like to leave a like, that would be nice. Comments, I would absolutely love if you leave a comment, especially if you made it this far through the video. And I'm not going to say you have to subscribe, but it would be nice. Again, thank you to the 2 people who have subscribed. It is a great honour to have you have done that. And I appreciate you being here for this little journey that we're going on. So I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I can get a little bit further along next one. I think the rambling sometimes takes my focus. Sorry, I'm getting burpy again. So I'm going to sign out. Catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much.